Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel for OCD Recovery, where today we're going to talk all about how to handle intrusive images. Now, hey Daisy, now the most important thing is whether it's an image, a thought, sensation, urge, the principles all apply the same. It's going to go for whatever you're the most scared of. I didn't have a lot of intrusive images. Some people do. I also didn't have a ton of intrusive thoughts. Mine was primarily just sensations and urges. Whatever you're afraid of, just remember, comparison is the thief of joy. It's going to go for exactly what you are scared of, what bothers you the most. And for me, images didn't really bother me. It wasn't a sticky point. Some people, it's just the urge to solve the image. They don't really have a lot of thoughts. Again, there's no right or wrong here. There's always a belief system, etc. Before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button down below, and email phil@ocdrecovery.com. Again, that is phil@ocdrecovery.com. You can learn more about our new subscriptions and all the new stuff that we got going on. People that are taking it very seriously, coming in week for week, full access to all our webinars, a little bit more, in touch, one-to-one care. And a lot of people are signing up because they want to take their recovery seriously for many different reasons, because they don't want to be stuck with OCD anymore or give themselves the best chances to not be stuck. Okay, again, thought, images, sensation, urges. Those are not the primary problems. The primary problem is your belief system. Conditional, self-life, other acceptance. Okay. Pulling out a sticky pad. Okay. So, at the top, we're going to go like a trickle-down effect, okay? So, let's say the crown jewel at the top. Remember in the second mummy, when Jonathan went to grab, if you saw the second mummy, there was like a big diamond on the top. So, the top of the pyramid is your beliefs, okay? So, USA... O, and life. This would be unconditional life acceptance. This would be if you're recovered. Okay, so trickling down underneath that are T for thoughts, I for image, S for sensation, and U for urges. Taisu. So top of the pyramid, unconditional self-life other acceptance. Well, with where you are now, let's take away the U for unconditional, and we'll put conditional. So conditional, self-life other acceptance, and then you have thoughts, images, sensation, urges. Okay, and then in between all of this, it's gluing all of it together. So these are all separate blocks. So imagine it's an actual pyramid, and every single separate block is an image or a sensation. And then what glues those blocks together and gives it the firm realness or the compulsions, self-reassurance, avoidance, and everything else in between. So again, these are the blocks. It's glued together by compulsion, self-reassurance, and avoidance. This is a very PhD level image here. Picasso, watch the fuck out. Probably looking down if there's an afterlife like, this kid's an idiot. So, which might be true. So, okay. Where are you going to more than likely have strong images? Wherever you don't want them. Where are the places that most people have very vivid images? Whether it's linked to real event, false memory, sexual taboo, POC harm. We're not going to go into specifics on the themes. We're just going to focus on the image itself, okay? Anything with intimacy, dates, kissing, foreplay, all the way up to sex. Events, birth of your child, marriage, traveling where you spend a lot of money, just big events, moving, getting fired from your job and getting a new job, and then everything else in between, right? You could just have images there all day long. So again, the image is not the problem. The belief system that's fueling the image, one of them is, if I notice these images in like a sensory motor / hyper awareness way, if I notice these images for the rest of my life is ruined. I can't enjoy my life. It disrupts everything. That rigid conditional life acceptance, primarily life acceptance. But if the images is about an event that may or may not have happened, false memory, real event, or maybe something you did when you were 12 years old, you were playing house with friends, and one of your neighbors accidentally touched their butt, and you're just having that image over and over from a real event. Your belief system could be, not only noticing the image for the rest of your life, that's there. Trust me, that belief is there. But the other belief is, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person for what I did. And because your body and your brain and your belief systems is on board with this conditional self-acceptance from the action, there's also going to be chronic guilt and shame. It's throwing you those images over and over and over again. So both can be worked on. Now, from a behavioral component, what is the most important thing for images? Well, you can't avoid anything in time. You're not going to go from where you are now to where I am, where you're not avoiding anything. you are going to avoid numerous events. You're going to have to work up to that. And it depends on the person. If you're avoiding your entire life, if you haven't engaged in any romance or dating, I'm not expecting you to go out and have a one-night stand tomorrow. But we have to go towards certain things. You're going to have to get comfortable with the image, and I know you don't want to hear this, completely battering the shit out of you no matter where you are, especially in the bedroom. It's just a fact. There are numerous people I work with that will not engage in any sort of romance because they have false memory real event, POCD, and the images are super strong, understandably so, but I am very sorry to say that you have no other choice. I wish there was another option. If there was an easier option, I would be the first person to tell you, but there is not an easier option. The option is you need to go towards these things and not avoid. And if you go into it and you fail, because I'm looking for progress, not perfection, what I care about is you trying over and over and over again. So again, let's look at those beliefs before we talk about back to this again. If I have these images present in any situation, you can plug in, my life is ruined, I can't be present, very rigid conditional life acceptance. If it's also being fueled by something you did or did not do, false memory / real event, again, whether you did it or not actually doesn't matter, acceptance applies all around, harm, taboo, sexual orientation, whatever it may be. You know, you're having sex with your wife, but you're having images of kissing a guy, whatever it may be. Same thing, HOCD / SOCD. The belief is, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person. I'm a piece of shit. That conditional self-acceptance, which is fueling that over and over and over again. So both can exist. Practicality, you're going to have to get comfortable. Acceptance doesn't mean agreement with those images being there. That is critical. And again, there is no difference between image, sensation, thought, or urge at all. None. It all applies the same way in the hyper-awareness perspective of noticing that for the rest of your life. This is critical. But the more you run from those images, the worse off you're going to be. I know this because I ran from all my urges and sensations for years. And I just digging my own grave here, you know, just digging it deeper and deeper. Why am I not getting better? I'm 10 feet deep. Keep engaging, keep pushing it away. Now I'm 20 feet deep. Before you know it, you're so deep down this hole you can't even see a top. You're like, oh, I'm stuck forever now. But that's not the case. You just have to slowly start getting backwards to exposing yourself. And don't take forever on this. This is key, whether it's an image, sensation, urge, or thought. I'm not ready yet. You're never going to feel ready. If you've been avoiding certain things, you can jump back in as quickly as you want. Are you going to have withdrawal effects? Absolutely. But you have no choice but to face those fears. Phil@OCDrecovery.com. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any recommendations on videos, please comment down below. Hope to hear from you soon. Hopefully see you on some one-to-ones or webinars. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.